Hello and welcome to another Magic the Gathering unboxing. Today we're going to be unboxing the infamous Battle for Zendikar Fat Pack. Infamous because of all the price and availability shenanigans that have been going on, somewhat enhanced by the fact that this particular product has full art land in it. And obviously that created a supply problem in that in the past with fat packs, what you have to understand is fat packs compared to other products don't sell particularly well. And what my understanding is that normally happens is a lot of stores don't take their full allocation. That leaves an awful lot of fat packs just available for other stores to have a lot more. Because these were in demand, the stores that didn't have their full allocation now wanted to have their full allocation, and that meant that the stores that normally got the leftovers or got extra because they with other sets, with other fat packs, they weren't required, now didn't get that many, got less. And so that sort of created problems for those stores, and all sorts of other considerations conspired to cause some places and individuals and eBay sellers to basically raise the prices to a price where many players felt was unacceptable. It's interesting. This is the first time I'm just trying to think. The first time I started buying fat packs again was probably M11, and this is the first time I've not been able to get a fat pack. The dates come out, but then that's probably my own fault for not getting my local store to put one aside for me. If in fact they would have done that, and just doing what I normally do, which is going on release day and just buy a fat pack. So I went on release day and they'd already sold out. In fact, they sold out. They had, like a lot of stores, they had like a late night opening on the Thursday, which is a fairly regular occurrence now, and they all got sold then. So it's taken me a week to get hold of this. I decided that I wasn't going to drive around to all the other stores looking for fat packs, just wasting petrol. So I just waited until I was going past one of the box stores. I actually went into Walmart and they didn't have any in there, but I think with my local Walmart it actually takes a couple of weeks for the fat packs to filter through, and I didn't see anywhere on the shelf where there was a hole where these fat packs had been sort of taken off the shelves by people frantically trying to get hold of them. But I did find one in a Toys R Us really close there. So you'll probably be interested to know how much I pay for this. Now, normally when I buy a fat pack from a local game store, it normally costs me somewhere in the region of 45 to 50 Canadian dollars. I'm in Nova Scotia. That's around about the figure I pay. I don't normally buy these from box stores, so I don't know what they would charge, but I think the Walmart actually tends to be slightly more expensive with Magic products, so I think it's in around about the 50 to 55 Canadian dollar mark, something like that. So it was interesting and rather annoying, I suppose, that Toys R Us, and again I have no clue what Walmart is going to be selling these for in and around Halifax, but at Toys R Us this was $59.99 before tax. So that was $68.99 with tax on top. And I wasn't expecting a price increase at the box stores, but I find the prices are really weird at the Canadian box stores anyway. There's almost like a fudge factor on top of the exchange rate, which they seem to just charge, that they've obviously come up with. So this was, all told, this was $68.99 Canadian dollars. what's more fascinating for me than, you know, what people consider to be price gouging is the fact that once a product like this the price starts increasing, you do start to get into the realms of alternatives. What I mean by that is a lot of people who maybe just want to buy the fat pack and aren't interested in like flipping it to make money, or aren't interested in buying loads of them and flipping those to make money, who just want, like me, just want a fat pack because they like to buy a fat pack each set, are going to think, well, okay, it's no big deal. I could get one if I want to, but maybe I could spend that $68.99 on, I don't know, Dice Masters and a load of boosters. So I think with the fat pack, there is a point at which, once it gets above a certain level, a lot of Magic players, casual players, stroke collectors, are going to say, I'm just going to go out and buy something else. And it'd be interesting to see what, if there is any long-term effect on that. Also, is a more interesting thing from someone, I think, in my position, is sort of playing this off against other things. So just as coincidence would have it, the same weekend that I got hold of this, which was 1 week after the release, we went out for a meal. It was my wife's birthday, and we went to a really nice Italian restaurant, and we had two main courses, 2 desserts and 2 drinks for that was 58 with HST on top. It came out at 66.70, and then I did a tip on top of that, so it's more expensive. I would have about what, a $9 tip on top. So I think it's fascinating to sort of go, well, you know, for the price of a fat pack, you could go out and have a really nice meal, basically, you know, with a partner or a wife or boyfriend or husband or, you know, whatever, instead of buying a fat pack. So I think at the end of the day, there's a really interesting debate to be had, I think, about cost versus value with Magic product. Anyway, I've spent now nearly 8 minutes just rambling, and I think people really want to see this pack open, but that's just my sort of take on the whole thing. So let's open this up and have a look in here. So what I'll do is I'll obviously go through, show you the land artwork, and we'll have a look at the encyclopedia in here and see what else is in here. So we've got a player's guide with the encyclopedia. We've got Battle for Zendikar card box, which is what this becomes. 9 Battle for Zendikar booster packs, 80 card basic land pack, a spin down life counter, and the infamous deck boxes, which, as you know, I don't particularly like because they're not really large enough to do anything with. Okay. So inside of this, if you've not seen one before, spaces come out. This becomes a rather nice deck box. So there you go. Show you the artwork on that. There we go. We've got our land, which has caused all the trouble. It is pretty crazy with the presence of full art land that Wizards didn't print extra product. I mean, what were they thinking? Okay, spin down counter. What we'll do, let me just put these together. Just trying to see if I've got These look fairly wide actually. Let's have a look. Well, I don't know if you can see that. Let me try and find one with a card in it. I've got a... No, that's not going to do it. Okay. It's always worth trying every single time, and every single time I'm always disappointed. So it'll keep unsleeved stuff. And actually what it would do, it would, if you had those perfect fit sleeves, the ones that are really thin, so they're about the same thickness as a penny sleeve, but they're very tight, and you often use them for double sleeving. They would actually work in this instance. Actually, they're about the only ones that would fit. Okay, so let's have a look. It's funny in some ways, if I hadn't been able to get a fat pack and I'd had to go out and buy like, no, which is what I was going to do if I hadn't been able to get one. I was just going to go out and buy like 10 packs and just unbox them. I would have been really disappointed about not getting this, and probably had to have gone out and actually found one. So I'm sure with the amount of fat packs people are opening, there's going to be loads of these spare. Because people are probably just opening, you know, packs as well, not just to resell, but basically, you know, you've got a lot of people out there that want to bling up their cubes with full art and EDH stuff, and that's the other problem as well that Wizards should have taken into account. Is there's lots of reasons now, even more reasons why people like full art land. So we've got a little bit about the Eldrazi and Zendikar and the allies, just to give you a bit of backstory. Zendikar, a world in peril, so more backstory. More about the rise of the Eldrazi, and then a section on Gideon Jura. And Kiora, Obnixilis, and the Eldrazi Titans, so Ulamog, Kozilek and Emrakul. And we've got cards that sort of represent what they say, the five most crucial, pivotal events in the Battle for Zendikar story. So Slaughter at the Refuge, which is, just trying to see what that actually is called. Gruesome Slaughter, Nissa's Renewal, Revelation at the Eye, which is Yugin's Insight, Liberation of Seagate, which is Outnumber, and Hedron Alignment, which is Aligned Hedron Network. And 10 coolest Battle for Zendikar cards: Ulamog, the Ceaseless Hunger, Kiora, Master of the Depths, Shambling Vent, Zada, Hedron Grinder, Snapping Gnarlid, Desolation Twin, Obnixilis Reignited, Ulamog Nullifier, Prairie Stream, and Planar Outburst. And then we've got the card encyclopedia. So what I'm looking for in here is a sort of Battle for Zendikar equivalent of the hidden treasures from the Zendikar, whether or not they're actually in the encyclopedia. So these are extended artwork lands. They're actually non-basic lands, which are very, very thinly distributed through boosters. They call them the expedition lands, but I don't see specifically any mention in here showing the extended artwork on this. But anyway, that's one thing to watch out for. Those are, not surprisingly, because of their infrequency in the boosters, are expensive on the secondary market. And with only 9 boosters, I think it would be unlikely that we would see any in here. It's the sort of thing that if you were opening, say, a case of booster boxes, you might actually see. So there we have the encyclopedia. So let's get on and actually have a look at the lands. Let's just zoom in. This is going to be a rather long unboxing, but I think you can't blame me when I've just sort of spent $68 on a fat pack. I should savour the moment, I think. Okay, so going through, oops, let's go through these. So you can get a feel for the artwork. So we'll just go through until they start to repeat. So as you can see, the sort of Zendikar themed artwork with the hedrons and this sort of weird, almost like anti-gravity theme. Obviously anybody that was familiar with the original Zendikar artwork will recognise some of this. Okay. I'm not sure if we've gone full circle here yet or not. I don't think we have. It's a pity really that all the artwork for all the sets couldn't be full art. But I suppose then it wouldn't be special. Yep, so here we're definitely getting here repeating ourselves now. So anyway, that's our full art land work for Battle for Zendikar, not Battle of Zendikar, Battle for Zendikar. And in a moment I'm going to start cracking open those boosters. So we've got 9 boosters to open up. I'm just going to quickly, there we go, have a look at the die you get here. So this one's a sort of red with green mottling on it, and got to find the symbol. There's the, there we go. There's the symbol there, the Battle for Zendikar symbol. So let's start cracking these open. And we'll look at some of the mechanics in the set as well. Okay, so we've got Sludge Crawler, which has got Devoid. This card has no colour, so it's one black, but it actually says this card has no colour. It's also got Ingest on it. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top card of his or her library. Plummet, destroy target creature with flying, obviously a reprint. Salvage Drone also has Devoid on it, Devoid with Ingest. Shatter Skull Recruit has Menace. This creature can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Felidar Cub. Eyeless Watcher. It's got Devoid on it. Rush of Ice. That one's got Awaken on it. So Awaken 3. 4 and a blue. If you cast this spell for 4 and a blue, also put 3 +1/+1 counters on target land you control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Silent Skimmer, it's got Devoid. Mortuary Mire is a non-basic land, common. Natural Connection. Chasm Guide. So we're moving now on to the uncommons, and we've got a mechanic here called Rally. Whenever Chasm Guide or another ally enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. Vampiric Rites, Retreat to Hagra, it's landfall in the set. So landfall, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains death touch until end of turn, or each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So our rare is Woodland Wanderer, 3 and a green for a 2/2 creature elemental with Vigilance and Trample. Also has Converge on it. Woodland Wanderer enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each colour of mana spent to cast it. And we've got obviously full art in the boosters as well, so there's a full art planes and a Knight ally token. So obviously heavy ally theme in this set. As always, very slippery with new cards. Okay, so Seek the Wilds, Oracle of Dust, another card with Devoid on it. I don't know if you can see the sort of colour, the way they've done that. So you've got sort of the blue up here and then it slowly almost like washes out down the sides. I don't know how clear that is coming out on the camera. Altar's Reap, Tandem Tactics, another Shatter Skull Recruit, Menace, Hedron Blade, Bone Splinters, so that's a reprint, new artwork or different artwork. Unnatural Aggression, so again this sort of green top here and again becomes sort of washed out as you go further down. And also notice that I don't know again how you can see that the artwork sort of bleeds into the bottom box here, which is really interesting, and that's something that they was on in the original Zendikar set, where the Zendikars are obviously big creatures and their artwork sort of bled into the rest of the card. So that's got Devoid on it. It's an instant. Sandstone Bridge, another common non-basic. Cloud Manta, Skitterskin is an uncommon, another card with Devoid. Royal's Retribution, Adverse Conditions, another Devoid card. Undergrowth Champion is a mythic, it's 1 and 2 green for a 2/2 creature elemental. If damage would be dealt to Undergrowth Champion while it has a +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage and remove a +1/+1 counter from Undergrowth Champion. It's got landfall. Whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Undergrowth Champion. Full Art Forest and an Eldrazi Scion token. So again, creatures in the set that can generate mana if you sacrifice them. Although these ones, unlike the spawns, which were 0/1s, are 1/1s. So some more Devoid, Incubator Drone, Culling Drone, Seek the Wilds, Coral Helm Guide, Reckless Cohort, Felidar Cub, Valakut Invoker, Ondu Greathorn, Dominator Drone, Ondu Champion with Rally on it, Herald of Kozilek, so this is a Devoid with, which is one colourless blue-red. So we're moving on to uncommons. Infuse with the Elements, Tide Drifter, Brutal Expulsion is our rare, 2 blue-red for an instant. It's got Devoid, so this card has no colour. Choose one or both. Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand. Brutal Expulsion deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker. If that permanent would be put into a graveyard this turn, exile it instead. It's Mountain Full Art and an Octopus token. Actually, that's something else I wish they'd do, which is just get rid of the advert cards and just have tokens all the time. Done so good so far. We've got two tokens out of 3, I think. Culling Drone, Seek the Wilds, Coralhelm Guide, Nakana Assassin, Tandem Tactics, Outnumber, Valakut Invoker, Shadow Glider, Dominator Drone, Stone Fury, Rolling Thunder, Ulamog's Nullifier, so we've moved on to our uncommons now, Encircling Fissure, and Drowner of Hope is our rare. So this is 5 and a blue for a 5/5 creature Eldrazi with Devoid. When Drowner of Hope enters the battlefield, put 2/1/1 colourless Eldrazi Scion creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have sacrifice this creature, add 1 colourless to your mana pool. Sacrifice an Eldrazi Scion, tap target creature. We have a swamp and a core ally token. Okay, Mindraker, Territorial Baloth, Clutch of Currents, Kozilek Sentinel, Inspired Charge, Looming Spires, Grave Birthing, Eyeless Watcher, Eldrazi Devastator, Wave Wing Elemental. Moving on to our uncommons. Royal's Retribution, Void Attendant, Tide Drifter. See what our rare is. So we've got Planar Outburst. 3 and 2 white for a sorcery. Destroy all non-land creatures. Awaken 4. So for 5 and 3 white, if you cast this spell for 5 and 3 white, also put 4 +1/+1 counters on target land you control, and it becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste. It's still a land. Swamp and a plant token. Okay, so Oracle of Dust, Voracious Null, Reclaiming Vines, Nettle Drone, Kite Sail Scout, Mortuary Mire, Tightening Coils, Looming Spires, Grave Birthing, Eyeless Watcher, Rising Miasma, so we're moving on to our uncommons, Expedition Envoy, Slab Hammer. So we have the Aligned Hedron Network, which is 4 colourless. Artifact. When Aligned Hedron Network enters the battlefield, exile all creatures with power 5 or greater until Aligned Hedron Network leaves the battlefield. Those creatures return under their owner's control. Island, Full Art, and an Elemental. Okay. Right, Brilliant Spectrum. It's got Converge, so we get to draw X cards, where X is the number of colours and mana spent to cast Brilliant Spectrum, then discard 2 cards. So we've seen that Converge mechanic before. Nakana Assassin, Seek the Wilds, Oracle of Dust, Fortified Rampart, Belligerent Whiptail, Livespring Druid, Valakut Invoker, Ondu Greathorn, Dominator Drone, Skitterskin, Royal Spout, so we've now moved on to our uncommons. Retreat to Hagra. Okay, so we've got a Hydra here in our rare spot. This is 4 and 2 green. Oran Reef Hydra. Creature Hydra, Trample. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Oran Reef Hydra. If that land is a forest, put 2 +1/+1 counters on Oran Reef Hydra instead. Planesfallar and an Eldrazi Scion. Okay. Plummet, Salvage Drone, Calistria Healer, Blisterpod, Shatterskull Recruit, McKindy Slide Runner, that is, I think, Gideon's Reproach, Livespring Druid, Valakut Predator, Grove Rumbler. Moving on to our uncommons. Turn Against, quite a few cards we've not seen yet here actually. Retreat to Valakut. And another Aligned Hedra Network. And a foil Firemantle Mage, which is 2 and a red uncommon. Creature Human Shaman Ally. With Rally, whenever Firemantle Mage or another ally creature enters the battlefield under your control, creatures you control gain Menace until end of turn. Creature with Menace can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Swamp, Full Art and an Elemental Token. So this must be a record in terms of not having any advert cards yet. Okay, so our last pack. Territorial Baloth, Royal Mage's Trick, Dutiful Return, Sure Strike, Inspired Charge, Tajura Beastmaster, Demon's Grasp, Skyline Cascade, Eldrazi Sky Spawner, Ruin Processor, Processor Assault, so first of our uncommons, Bane of Balaged, Crumble to Dust, and oh wow, there we go. So this is our second mythic. We have a Gideon. So Gideon, ally of Zendikar, 2 and 2 white, Planeswalker Gideon for loyalty. So the +1 is until end of turn, Gideon, ally of Zendikar, becomes a 5/5 human soldier ally creature with indestructible that's still a Planeswalker. Prevent all damage that will be dealt to him this turn. Our 0 is put a 2/2 white knight ally creature token onto the battlefield. And our -4 is you get an emblem with creatures you control get +1/+1. Our island and an emblem. Wow, for Gideon. So that's a bit of luck. Excellent. So that final pack really helped us out in terms of getting some value back in here, or bumping up the value. So there we have it. That's our unboxing for the Battle for Zendikar Fat Pack with the full art land, the 9 boosters, the spin down counter, our 2 rather undersized card boxes, and of course the a rather nice artwork on the side of that card box. There we go. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.